Whoa, I was on mute. Hi, welcome to day five. Hmm. Okay, so I want to be totally transparent. I am doing day five on day six. I had a really busy last couple of days, and yesterday I was just energetically mentally tapped out. I was just tapped out, and I chose to just say, I'm going to double up tomorrow. I'm going to let this go. I do not have the capacity to do this, and I'm choosing not to do it, and I'm choosing to do it tomorrow. So, the reason, first of all, I think it's important to be transparent. But I think it's important also to name that when we're moving towards goals or when we are practicing devotion, it's not about being perfect. Life happens. There are a lot of variables and moving pieces. It's very complex and intricate. And so we might have the best intentions to do something every single day for 21 days or for 30 days. And listen, if you are the type of person that can very easily do that, amazing. I'm like picturing like very grounded, earthy people. Like, that's amazing. All the more power to you. But if you're like me, and sometimes it's like, it's just difficult to do something like that and to execute perfectly, that's okay too. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're less devoted. It doesn't mean whatever. I think for me right now, it is important that I don't miss more than a day at a time because then it's like the momentum trails off. And so I do think it's important, you know, to get back on after missing a day. But I also made that choice very consciously, and I just decided that what I needed was to rest and to do something different. And that's what I chose mindfully and with awareness in that present moment. So, we're getting into day five, and some of the prompts were: what common negative or limiting thought patterns show up in my day-to-day life in my as I'm moving through my day-to-day, show up with my circumstances or with my partner or with my friends or whatever it is. So just looking at when I wake up in the morning, how am I thinking about my day? Am I already stepping out of bed, or even before stepping out of bed, in a place of dread, in a place of anxiety, in a place of hustle, in a place of I've got to go, go, go and get it done? Because underneath that, there's some sort of limiting thought pattern or limiting belief that says that either something is not right or something is misaligned or something is just off. And so looking at, well, how am I perceiving my life? How am I perceiving my career and my relationships and my circumstances? And am I perceiving them from a place of disempowerment where I feel like what it I do not have the resources or capacity or strength or wherewithal to overcome them. And that's where like feelings of dread and feelings like have to overcompensate with hustle come from. Um, or am I waking up and am I feeling like, all is well. Here's another day living this amazing life. Here's another day of getting to have this experience of being a human being. I wonder what's in store for me today. Beyond, I wonder what's in store for me today. What do I want to co-create with the universe today? So, here's a couple of thoughts that surfaced for me. I have to hustle to overcompensate for my lack of cash flow in my business and my lack of clients that are flowing in. So, when I wake up in the morning, I basically, the first thing is like, my brain is already trying to problem solve for how do I get more clients? That's an issue because that's not a problem to solve. That's a perceived problem coming from a place of lack and coming from a place of not being in my power and not remembering that when I align, I will naturally flow in the direction of what is meant for me and of what I'm co-creating with myself and the universe and other humans and all of it. So that's a thought that I have that's limiting, that's like kind of under the surface, that I need to be aware of and pay attention to. The next one is I have to have something that I don't currently have in order for people to buy from me. So I have to have a larger following. I have to have a viral video. I have to have uh, some jazzy personality that really draws people to me. I have to be more magnetic. I have to be more like whatever, whatever, whatever. Like I kind of left this almost blank because it's like I know that I know that there's stories in my brain that say this in different ways. Like all of the examples that I just listed. So it's this core limiting belief that says I have to have something that I don't currently have in order to have the thing that I want. And that is a lie. You already have everything you need inside of you, and we just have to bring the thought train back to, oh, let's center and let's remember that if I have everything that I need already within me, then how do I come into alignment with what it is that I want? How do I attune to that frequency of already having what I want and what I want to experience? And so part of doing this is slowing the mind from problem solving, from fixing, from feeling lack, from feeling scarcity, from feeling disempowered to now we're saying, okay, I don't have to go or do anything outside of me or have something that I don't in order to experience what I want to be experiencing. I'm going off on a few tangents here, so I hope that this like loops back into the teaching of the day. The next thought that I wrote down is I have to get it just right to show up. So when it comes to me showing up on social media, which, or really any place where I'm saying, hi, I'm Renata, hi world, I'm Renata. Here are my gifts. Here's my medicine. Here's how I work with you. Here's what I can offer you. Are you interested? Do you want to dance with me and play with me? There's this limiting perspective that like I have to do something to be right in order to show up and say that. It's almost like I can't just show up to the world and say, "Hi, I'm Renata. This is who I am, and this is what I do." It's like, oh, I have to say it just right. I have to get my elevator pitch just right. I have to express myself in just the right way. So there's like all of these things that basically are saying I have to get it just right before I can show up and introduce myself, show up and share my thoughts, show up and give a teaching, whatever it is. So, those are the three that I wrote down that came to mind. So then the next prompt is, what can you do to interrupt this? And for me, this really is about that centering and grounding and reminding myself of who I am as a co-creator with the universe and with all that is, and remembering that I have the power to either think that things are going to go the worst, think from a place of fear, or think that things are going to go the best, which is thinking from a place of faith and love. So, in the morning for me, that's where I is most potent for me personally to pattern interrupt, because when I come out of sleep, that's where the default programming, whatever the default programming is in my brain, is going to kick in and start. And so before I step foot in my day and just mindlessly go about my day on autopilot, which is how we all function, what am I consciously aligning to in the beginning? So that's what I put. But then I also put, I really like this. I don't remember where I heard this from now. It's not an original Renata thought. Um, that when a thought comes in that is in that place of fear or lack or scarcity or disempowerment, delete. Like I'm just deleting that thought. Like it happened to me in the shower the other day. I was feeling guilty because I've been feeling so joyful and happy and blessed lately. And I'm like about to go have this amazing Christmas adventure in New York, and I've wanted to go to New York City for years and years and years. And it just kind of the opportunity just showed up, and I'm so excited. And anyways, I'm just feeling so blessed. And I just had the thought of like, oh, wow, I'm gonna go have all of this fun and experience all of this joy and all of this magic. And there are people that do not have water. There are people that do not have food. There are people that are gonna have a really miserable experience around this time of year. And so it was just this old patterning of guilt and this old, like, thinking that if I'm sick, that that's somehow going to help somebody else that's sick. And so it's just like it's this thought that doesn't serve me, and it's also this thought that's just not true. If I'm suffering, that's not going to help somebody else who's also suffering. Me staying in a place of suffering doesn't eliminate someone else's suffering. So I just said, "Oh, I'm gonna delete that thought." Boop. Delete. Like we're not doing that anymore. So that I like thinking of our subconscious, our operating system as exactly that, a program. And so in that program, I can choose to install the programs that I want and that are life affirming and life giving and supportive and nurturing, and I can delete the ones that are the opposite of that. The next one says, the next prompt is to kind of envision your higher self and say, like, what would your higher self say to you? And I said, my soul said, I see your drive. So this is like specifically for those thoughts that are, or like those thoughts and those like patterns and beliefs that are limiting. So as I was thinking of the ones that are based in hustle and based in lack and like with this like, oh, we have to like overcompensate and work hard and we have to do something before we can do it. My soul said to those parts of myself and to those thoughts, I see your drive and passion to fulfill your mission and to succeed and to have the life that you want. I see that drive. Thank you. Remember that you are a powerful co-creator and you get to choose and decide that it will work out the way that you want it to or better. Boom. Time and time again, I've realized that mental health and spiritual health and spiritual laws and the nature of reality is actually fundamentally very simple. There is a lot of information, and in that information there is intricacies and complexities and different flavors and nuances and layers and all kinds of forms of expression. And in that, it can seem like it's complicated, but it's really not. I'm getting kind of the metaphor, hopefully it will come through properly, of soup. The very sweet elderly gentleman that I am currently living with, um, it's this like beautiful, synchronistic, symbiotic um, relationship that we have. But he's like, he used to own restaurants. He's Greek, and he used to own restaurants in New York City, actually. Funny. Oh, there's so much magic in my life. It's incredible. But the point is, the metaphor is that he when I first met him, he made me and gave me lentil soup. And he's like, I'll teach you how to make soup. And he said, any soup that you start with has the same base. You start with onions and celery and carrots. And I think garlic, but no, not garlic. He doesn't put garlic in every soup. Anyways, but it's the same base. And then from that base, you do whatever you want. You could do lentils, you could do beans, you could do fish, you could do whatever, but it starts with the same base. And we can think about ourselves the way that our psyche, the way that our subconscious, the way our consciousness works, the way that the nature and the fabric of reality works is actually very simple. It's not complex, but you can add all of these different flavors and you can add all of these complexities to it, but the foundation is really the same. It's really simple. So I just want to leave you with that thought today because it really is as simple as tuning into your breath and slowing down and coming into the present moment. And your breath is the vehicle by which you do that. Your breath is one in the same as the breath of the universe. You are not separate from the universe. The universe is within you. The universe is you. You are within the universe. It's all one. It's all one. It's very simple to drop into that, to drop into your intuition, to drop into your inner knowing, to drop into your heart. This journey is called Heart Over Hustle. It's not complicated, and you don't need anything complicated outside of you. You just need to allow yourself to drop in to that knowing and to that truth. I love you. Happy day 5. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to jump right into day 6 and get that one posted as well. And then I'll be back on track. Bye.